G'day, folks, and welcome to another episode of Encounters Down Under. Jack joins us on the show to tell us about his unique daytime sighting, and whilst this was only a brief sighting, it just goes to show that even the smallest encounters can change how you perceive the world. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, Jack.
If Jack, if you're there, mate, go and give us a bit of a holler there, mate.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate.
That's a go, mate. Mate, look, you hit me up there, mate. You said you'd come across for a brief encounter there with a UFO, mate. Mate, get into it. Tell us about what you're seeing, mate.
Yeah, right. So, I've seen the UFO, and there's no denying. I was a non-believer for my whole life up until just a few years ago when I seen UFO. You know, I was up in Queensland at the time,
Yep.
and it was just the middle of the day, just blue sky.
Okay, that's different because usually people are seeing UFOs during the night time, so yours is absolutely completely different compared to what people usually see like as daytime. So this is awesome.
So I seen it locally. I seen it locally to my position. I was driving towards the beach. I can go right into detail about what beach, the name of the street, and everything. But
Yep.
the main thing is, so I had my friend in the car. I was driving a two-seater ute, and so driving towards the beach, and he pointed it out. It was pretty much straight up and a little bit to the left. He pointed it out. He said, "Look, there's a UFO." So I looked at it, and it was right there. It would have been a couple of football fields away.
Okay.
And then so I didn't take my eyes off it, which it felt like a couple of minutes really, but it was probably about 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay, so that's pretty quick in a sense.
Yeah, but it felt more like 5 minutes.
Oh wow! So what you think there could have been a possibility of like a bit of a slow time thing happening? Like people say there's missing time sort of
No,
thing
it was
happens,
just it was I was in shock because it was it was right in my face, and so I had to analyze it in my brain.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So whereabouts was this located?
On Sydney Street in Redcliffe.
Okay, so that's a bit north of Brisbane there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, especially being daytime there. So did you get any details of the actual craft itself?
Yeah, it was a flying saucer.
Okay, so what, like going classic style, sort of Hollywood style sort of concept, or a bit of a bell shape to it? Or...
Basically like the style of flying saucer that you'd see in a cartoon, maybe in The Simpsons or something like that, or in Bugs Bunny or the Wild Coyote Roadrunner or something. I remember seeing a UFO in like the cartoons.
Yeah.
And it was just like that, really.
Okay, wow. That's nice. So couldn't see any like more details to it, like any like port windows or anything like that to sort of identify anything.
I think it was all the one colour.
Okay.
And and it was very balanced. Do you want to hear about the way it left? Because it was kind of stationary when I first laid eyes on it.
Yeah.
And as I said, it felt like it went on and on, but it was only lasted like the whole scenario was about 10 seconds maximum.
Yeah.
So I think it was either stationary or a very slow drift when I first spotted it.
Yep.
And then after about a second or two, it started picking up speed exponentially.
Okay, so just like gradual sort of takeoff sort of thing.
Yeah, very slow takeoff, but within a second, like it kept picking up more and more speed, and within a second, it was traveling like it looked like it got to the speed of light in about a second, maybe a second and a bit. It got to the speed of light, so it was like a slow acceleration, but to the speed of light, very fast.
Oh wow, that would have been amazing.
And then it went from like my local position, and then it kind of and then it went off. As I said, it was up to the left a bit, and it actually flew off, kind of to the right, but like up and forward to the right a little bit, and it went in a straight line, and it didn't look like it was rocking or anything. Like there was no spin to it. It just kind of just went in a straight line with no tilt on it. It just kind of just started. It just zoomed off real quick.
Yeah, okay, so it's getting no effects from the wind or anything, nothing there's sort of affecting it at all.
Oh no, it sounds silly to say that the balance that it had, but it looked like it had full control.
Yeah, wow. Like, 'cause if you're seeing a helicopter, like you can sort of see like the wind, like it's fighting the winds a little bit. You know, if there's drafts up there
Yeah,
and that sort of stuff there. And,
yeah. This didn't have any effect. This didn't was infected by the outside world. I don't believe it. Kind of went through the air like it owned it. You know.
yeah, wow, that would have been absolutely incredible to see.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
So,
that's the whole encounter.
yeah, wow. So your mate obviously saying the exact same thing. He didn't see it any much more longer than you, or what's his
My
sort of
mate.
story
Yeah,
behind?
we both seen the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all right. That's fair enough. Any others you sort of had encounters with, or any other things you want to add to the story?
Anything else?
Yeah. So anything you come across there at all?
Anything else related? You mean?
Yeah. Well, if there's anything in relation to that, like there could have been maybe something that you might have noticed in the past there that might have led you up to this, maybe, or anything that you might have be suspicious on, even.
Not pretty much nothing, eh? But I remember seeing like a satellite-looking thing once,
Yep.
which wasn't, which is nothing like what I seen that day, but it was still something worth noting. Whereas it looked like a small dot in the very like in the distance, very far away, up in the blue sky in the middle of the day. During a game of chess outside with a mate, and so I was looking up into the blue sky, and there was a dot, and it was just drifting, like it had like about the speed that you'd see a plane up in the distance moving. So
Okay.
just a slow move, and then the dot. The funny thing about it was the dot disappeared, and then that's what caught me attention. I was like, "Oh shit! That dot just disappeared."
Yeah.
But then about a second or two after, that same dot reappeared back where it started, and then did the same movement over the path. So I travelled the same path twice. So that was weird.
Oh wow. Okay, that's different. So how long ago was this roughly?
Oh, roughly, probably 5 years, counting the years on one hand. Probably maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it might be just enough to go and rule out Starlink on that one and the possibilities of that one there. So that could have, yeah, definitely been something amazing to see. It also didn't do anything, any weird manoeuvres or anything like that in the meantime.
No,
It was just a straight
Just
line.
like, yeah, kind of just, yeah. It wasn't exciting or anything. Like, it was just funny that it disappeared and then reappeared, and then moved over the same area. Like, it did the same thing twice in the same area.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So it could have possibly been another satellite following behind it, maybe.
Yeah, but it looked like it disappeared, and then it looked like the same thing. It was the same dot, then reappeared,
Yeah.
and
So-
then went.
So
Yeah,
your thing is definitely can rule out the possibility of a satellite then.
well, that's the only thing I can. That's the only thing that I know.
Yeah.
That, yeah, I can't say.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Oh, wow. So back to your original one there, mate. Like, anything else after that sort of happened after you, like, you know, nothing.
No, I've never forgotten about it. I've never forgotten, but I've never seen another one.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Just a reminder to anyone, all our listeners here, if you've got any questions that you want to ask to Jack here, by all means, put them in the comments, and I'll definitely relay them to Jack, and he can obviously answer them to the best of his ability.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. Were you so you weren't a believer of aliens or UFOs before this?
Never believed. I thought it was stupid when I would hear about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty common. Everyone's sort of into that concept.
Yeah, like I remember one of my mates when we were a little bit younger said that he'd seen a UFO, and I knew he was lying.
Okay.
And then I managed to break him, and then he came out and he said, "Oh, you know, yeah, he was bullshitting the whole time."
Oh, bugger.
And I was just like, I told you I knew, because it was complete bullshit.
Oh, some
yeah, and
people
I
are
was,
going to get into it. They've got to try and make the funnies out of the UFOs, unfortunately, and try and get some sort of attention.
what's that? Sorry, mate.
Oh, it's, you know, people try and take the mickey out of the UFOs there, or try and use it as an advantage to get some attention, you know, sort of thing. You know,
Oh,
it
that's
sounds like
it.
seems like, oh, maybe he was trying to take the piss out of you with that one.
Yeah. No, yeah, I just yeah, I just thought it was complete bullshit, and I've never believed in it.
Yeah.
And then since that day that I've seen it, like my whole perspective on all that just turned that upside down, because you have to like reanalyze your whole outlook on new information.
Oh, definitely. The whole perspective changes once you see something like this. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the case most of the time. Like, you know, people absolutely like you there, absolute skeptics and non-believers of the whole idea that there's aliens or UFOs, or whether they're aliens or not, I don't know. But you know, just even the possibility of UFOs flying around.
Yep. See, that's what bugs me, is the aliens.
Yeah.
Because I, you know, that's what I didn't see.
Yeah, that would have been annoying. Like, because you want to see something like go, what is that? A bit more
what
in
was
depth
inside?
detail. Yeah.
Who was driving it? Because it's kind of the biggest question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or whether it was just a computer-driven thing, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the big question there for all of it, isn't it? Like, who's in control of these things?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, for all I know, though, it could have been an alien inside it.
Yeah, well, the possibilities are all there, aren't they?
Because, yeah, like, you'd think we'd know about it if it was anything to do with our stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So you think something would have got leaked or something, and we'd all know.
Well, that's the thing too. like, the things have been leaked, but then it's like, well, how much do you want to take on board with this information that has been leaked? Like, how far do you want to go and get in depth? Because there's so many possibilities.
Leaked enough to be in a museum or something.
Ah, yeah, okay, getcha. Well, that's another thing too. The governments want to sort of hide that sort of stuff for, you know, unknown reasons. You know, you got the control of the religions and stuff like that. Like, you know, people believe that sort of thing, that once aliens do sort of come out and get acknowledged by the rest of the world, then it's just going to blow out religions altogether, and all the minority of control of the world.
Yeah,
they're
well,
going to
that's
have nothing. No power
well,
over the
then
world.
another query is, going over, the story that I've just told.
Yep.
So then, like, how, like, yeah. So maybe I just needed to have a video camera at the time.
We wish we all had one of those, but I bet you if you took video of that, it'd just be blurry. That just seems like
Oh, I guarantee, no, it's a good camera. Like, this was a few years ago, so that, like, so. My partner here's got an iPhone 11, and I guarantee with that camera, I could have videoed it, and yeah,
Oh,
I reckon it wouldn't have been blurry. Because
yeah.
it was in my local area.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah. No, I was sort of like just taking the Mickey out of like, everyone takes photos of UFOs and they're always just blurry.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on this podcast, because like, fuck, for what I see, when people come out about seeing a UFO and that,
Yeah.
it's laughable, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because I have my experience to compare it to, and so yeah.
No, that's it. Look, you can't go off what you've seen, but unfortunately, not everyone's prepared with a video camera or a photo there to go and try and capture it, which it just always seems to be like a in the moment sort of thing, doesn't it? And you're not thinking about taking a photo.
I can just watch, like, I have that memory, and I can just see it in my head.
Yeah, so it's just burned in your memory that you'll never forget it.
So if only that was on the TV, if only it was on the TV.
Oh, we can only hope if there's something does come on TV that we would do actually get something that's good. Good sort of thing,
Well, it would be. It'd be the yeah. Well, they don't. Yeah, I don't have much to say other than I saw what I saw, and that's the end of it. I haven't seen nothing like it ever since, but I still have it in my head the way that it accelerated exponentially and then zipped out of this world.
Yeah, so it's definitely against our concept of technology, you think? Something that we don't have a control over at all.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's what it seems. But then I have conflicting as well.
Sorry, mate. Say
But
that again. You dropped out a bit there. Sorry.
That's exactly right. But then I have conflicting theories as well. But then again, they're just theories. Whereas this is real life stuff that I've seen with my own eyes.
Yeah, well, that's it. You can't. People are going to say they have their theories, exactly what you're saying. But then you're going to have your own experiences there, and you're going to say, well, no, I've seen this, and you can argue black and blue with people sometimes with what you've seen.
That's right. That's exactly what I was just trying to communicate to you.
Yeah.
Is the communication of it is, and what I've seen is, in my opinion, just crap.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen. So I don't even bother. I don't take it serious when I see stories about, we've seen a UFO, or any stories or videos. I wouldn't even watch it because I just know it'll be crap.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Like, especially on YouTube, like, there's so many channels out there now that just all there is the CGI crap. It just takes away the whole credibility of the whole UFO sort of concept of things. And
that's it. I don't spend a day of my life even looking into it.
Yeah, and like they're getting that good with the CGI now. Like, it's so hard to tell the difference between the reality and the fake stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. So I haven't even looked at that, but I tell you what, I'll be able to tell.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, what you're seeing now. Yeah, it's just sad how the world's come to that now with all that sort of fake stuff there, and everyone's just too busy trying to monetize off this topic.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's sad. Like, money does rule the world there, but yeah, sadly, UFOs are getting taken advantage of on this one.
There's a little bit of there's a little bit of good out there, but it's lost in so much crap.
It does. Like even so, there were people there that were credible at the start. There, they were coming up with legit information there, and then I don't know, somewhere down the track they got lost, and they just started talking bullshit. It's like, well, how do you go from going, a massive concept of reality here to something just to go and mislead people, sort of thing? Like,
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it.
it's like, does the money take over, or what? Like, they're gonna start trying to producing content so they keep people interested in them, and so they keep getting the
I
money.
think they get. I think they get bored and just sick of just going on with it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough too.
As I said, I haven't seen anything like it since, and I don't know if I'll see anything like it ever again.
Yeah. Oh, look,
So,
some people are lucky to see one in their lifetime. Most people get none. So you're extremely lucky
Yeah,
there, that's for sure.
oh, I know it. No, it was epically amazing. What I seen was, I seen. It's what I seen as mind bending, and actually it'll change the way you see movement and how things move and how fast things are
Just the way
able
you
to
perceive
move.
things.
So it bends your mind. You have to get your head around it once you see it.
Yeah.
Because I remember, just comes to me now. So I remember when I first seen it, right?
Yeah.
And my first instinct was trying to figure out how it could be a hoax.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You sort of do. You're trying to rule out any logic.
Yeah. So I was deep embedded, like with my eyes latched onto it, and all the adrenaline rush that I was getting, I'm thinking, what kind of hoax is
Yeah.
this? But so then after after days, weeks, years, it's just something you never forget.
Yeah, you still can't come up with an explanation to what the hell it was.
Oh, well, my only explanation, well, I did come up with something,
Yeah.
and that was a massive hologram type thing,
Okay.
but that'd be all over the news.
Yeah, well, obviously, nothing came up in the news about any other sightings, like anyone in the
I
the
did
area.
come up. That's the sort of thing I come up with, but I pretty quickly ruled that out. That was only in my head, I think, for that first day,
Okay.
and then or maybe a couple of days, and then I was pretty quick to rule that out, and then so there's no other explanation.
No, that's fair enough. So, like, there's no other information from the public around your area there saying they've seen this as well, or?
No, not that I seen.
Yeah, righto. So, what do you think was actually, like, in your opinion, what do you think, well, who would you think was in control of the actual craft itself?
I actually have no opinion on it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I draw the line there, and that's why I say, yeah. So I don't bring aliens into it because I didn't actually see an alien.
Yep.
I did see an object in this world, and it acted and moved out of this world like nothing else.
Yeah, just far superior to what we've got.
Yes, far superior, and something that our heads, something that's not in our language.
Yeah, okay, that's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have you got any family members that have sort of had any experiences themselves at all?
No.
Yeah, so you're the only one in your whole family that's actually got a legitimate UFO sighting.
I'm quite sure, yeah, because anyone that had would pretty quickly tell me about it, I'd assume.
At least you'd hope so, anyway.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. So where did your family respond when you told them? Like, obviously you would have told them that you'd seen it.
Yeah, I've had it, like, it's come up in conversation and that a number of times to people that I've worked with in the past,
Yep.
and so family members and that. And it is what it is. They just they can't make out much out of it apart from what I tell them.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough too. And honestly, I feel it's better coming with the public sort of experiences, like, sort of like what I'm doing here, reaching out with you, trying to get you to explain your experience. Because, like, the more the public comes out with their encounters, like, the more it gets known that, these things are out there.
That's it, mate. That's it. That's what I'm here for. So, if anyone's seen exactly what I've seen, well, put your hand up and let's see how common this is, rather than uncommon. Because this is the first. I haven't heard or seen anyone speak about it the way I have.
Yep.
And so if there's anyone, but I've been pretty quiet about it,
Okay, so you're not trying to draw attention to yourself about it?
Yeah, I've never drawn attention to myself about it. It's
Yep.
because it's just something I've seen, It's not. If it was something you started seeing on a regular basis, then you'd have something to talk about.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, that's awesome. No, look, you coming out and reaching out to us and telling your story, mate, that's hopefully going to encourage more people to come out and definitely tell about their stories and encounters and such like that, mate. That's so.
Yeah, well, that'll be good. That'll be good to hear some other people speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was in was it Redland Bay? Was it?
Driving towards the beach there on Sydney Street.
Yeah, just north of Brisbane there. Well, it's pretty much east of Brisbane, isn't it?
North of the Briz.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. No, look, mate, I think we'll end it there, mate, because, yeah. I'm lost now, I've lost myself. Yeah. If anyone's got any questions, guys, get in the comments there and definitely get your questions to Jack there, and I'll definitely relay them for you.
Yeah, any questions, I'm happy to have a look through, and I'll answer anything that I can with my experience.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, mate, look, love to thank you for coming on, mate, and telling us your story, mate. It's been absolutely incredible listening to your story, and, mate, I hope you get to see another one, because obviously that's changed your perspective on the world, and, something amazing like that is something you want to see again.
Yes, mate. Oh, thanks for having us on.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much, Lee, and all the best, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, thanks, mate.